Shailendra sir joined. Kalurkar sir.
Yeah, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning after a long time. Yeah. So, Sanjay, what is it? How long you want me around?
Sir, at the beginning, I will introduce our IAS forum and team member introduction.
Yeah.
I will invite you for the brief address.
Okay.
Then from the institute, Professor Dipali Maste will introduce from the institute, and
Okay.
we'll proceed with the speaker session.
Okay, fine. After the introduction, I hope you don't mind if I can leave, because I have some preoccupation and you just requested, so I just wanted to appear to honor your request. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Abhyankar is going to speak, isn't it?
Hi, Dr. Aditya Abhyankar, sir.
Aditya Abhyankar, okay. Now, what is the latest, what all is happening on IES?
We are actually from academic, that admission currently has completed. So that's why all faculty are busy with the academic admissions. So that's why last months we are not implemented any initiative, but we work on a website.
Yes, I saw your emails.
Almost 80% have completed, and we are sending it to the all advisory board members. And we plan it to be a meet. First or second week.
Yeah, okay, good.
Deepali, madam.
You were on mute. You're on mute, actually.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Good morning, all of you. Good morning, sir. Am I audible, right? I'm audible, sir.
Well, as I had mentioned in some of my speeches, that we would do the turnaround in the second half of 2021. That is exactly what has happened. We have come into the positives on the GDP. As you must have read, all of you, it is 0.4%. And we would see a certain growth again in the month of March. Although we have had a second wave, which is pulling back a couple of activities. But I think industry is not looking back. The demand has picked up. So the entrepreneurs and the startups should be quite upbeat that the Indian economy, as predicted, is going up. And next year, which is financial year April to March, we should be having a very good year.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad that what all I was talking in the pandemic period has come about to be true a bit late by a month or two, but then it is just, we are just turning the tide. Yeah.
Deepali, madam.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can we begin after Aditya Abhyankar sir joined?
Join, sir. Aditya, sir, join.
Not yet. I reminded them.
Okay, so we will begin when he joins, no?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Madam, live streaming, we are streaming at
Yes,
11:05.
Yes, sir. On YouTube, it is now. It is visible. Good morning, Kalurkar, sir.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. Absolutely, I'm fine.
Thanks that you could spare time for us.
No, no, I'm always there. It's only the period. But if it is planned, then I'm always there. No problem.
Sure, sure. Thank you very much.
I can really try your patience for 2-3 hours. No problem.
Sure, sure, sure. I think we can arrange a lecture for Atharva students.
Yes,
Startup. We have a good
yes,
startup team of 50 students.
yes,
50.
yes. Anytime you just.
Sure.
I need to plan. That's all. I'm
Yeah, yeah.
speaking.
Feel free to tell in advance.
I'm speaking on 18th of March on the status of United States of America
Oh,
on an American platform post COVID and during the COVID, and what is going to be the emerging trends, how
oh, great.
American industry and people are going to take it up. So I think I will post it on IES, or maybe I'll send it to
Yes, so
Sanjay.
that we will get opportunity to share.
Yeah,
Sure, sure, sure.
I will send it to Sanjay. Sanjay, please circulate it in our IES forum.
Yes, sir, sure.
I mean, it's a big thing. I mean, sitting here in India, somebody thought that I could speak on US.
Yeah, that's definitely a great thing, sir.
Yeah.
Because
Really,
it's all
I missed.
because of your contributions.
Yes, and I had done this on LinkedIn post, and yesterday I got nearly 2,500 people views and then so many comments. And then LinkedIn platform themselves, they sent me an email saying that on the engagement activity, my post has been the top 1%.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Congratulations,
in the
sir.
top 1%.
Yeah, great. Congratulations.
So I think people have started recognizing the talent available in Pune and around. So this is something which everyone should cheer about.
Global
Because
Indians, sir. You are
yeah.
you are one of the global Indians now.
Well, I try to be, because ultimately situations are same everywhere. Industry is same, people are same.
Right,
So
sir.
what we discuss here, maybe if you orient it towards a global platform, things will remain same, and that is what people appreciated. I just spoke a fortnight ago on a Spanish platform
Oh,
on two different topics which were not related to me. One was wine tourism from India and
oh,
Spain. Although I'm total teetotaler, I don't know why they thought that I was suitable to talk about it.
why not? So
I've
great.
never tested wine nor beer nor any hard drink. But
They
then
must have thought you are close to Nasik, and Nasik is a wine city.
yeah. So instead of speaking, I moderated that entire this thing.
Right, right. So great. Okay.
And the second topic was tourism between India and
Oh,
Spain.
yeah.
And I introduced a concept of digital tourism to them. So everyone was quite amazed that how could that kind of a thinking prevail. I said, look here, there are people in hospitals, there are people in old age homes, there are old people who cannot travel. And because of this pandemic, not many people can travel. So why suffer on tourism? So create a platform for digital tourism. So sitting at home,
Digital
people
tourism.
can travel in
Yes,
Paris,
sure,
London,
sure.
and things
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And
In fact,
still,
we are for this purpose, for our hospitality institute and engineering college also, we are creating a big AR, VR, and mixed reality lab with a budget of
right,
about 2 CR.
yeah.
So probably we will be the first in the country to
Yeah,
have this kind of
actually,
lab. Yeah.
I'm telling you, if somebody catches up on digital tourism, it will not only save time because you can choose your time. You can sit in the night at 9 o'clock, like you watch a movie on Netflix and all.
Correct,
You
correct.
can conduct your digital tourism of a country or of a continent or things like that.
Exactly.
And the cost will be very, very cost effective.
And the lab that we are talking VR lab, it will provide you the experiential, I mean, immersive experience.
Absolutely.
So that you will feel that, oh, you are in that garden only, or you are in that cave only. Like
I
that.
tell you, you pursue that, it will catch up like wildfire.
Yeah, sir. Sure.
Deepali madam,
Yes, sir.
Aditya sir joined.
Okay, sir.
They are joined.
I don't think.
Aditya Abhyankar.
Aditya, sir,
Aditya, sir?
no, he's not joined, I think.
Okay. I think we'll have to call him. You have his number, sir?
Actually, I have shared.
He may be finding it difficult to log in. Just check, Sanjay.
Or otherwise, he is busy all the time. Yeah.
Yes, Aditya, sir is joined.
Time, no? Yes. Welcome, Aditya, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
All
Abhyankar
well,
sir?
all well. How are
Yeah,
you?
thank you, sir.
Talukar sir,
I'm
good
fine,
to
sir.
see you.
Fine, yes. Go back to Mumbai now.
And
Great.
trust all is at your end. The cases are increasing. All of us, we should take
Yes, yes,
utmost care right
precautions.
now.
Yes,
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 right,
yes.
right, sir. So I think they must have told you that we will also be having a YouTube live same time
Sure, sure.
from Google Meet. Yes, sir. Sure.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Okay.
And you are an example. You created a department which was not working to networking. And that's your great contribution.
Thank you, sir.
Right, sir.
I am going to present my slides. So can we do a quick test?
Sure,
Whether
sure.
possible. So just
Yeah.
give me a minute.
Maste madam, you can help, sir. If it is.
You will have to authorize sharing document by him.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, sir.
Aditya, in the meanwhile, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Shailendra Goswami.
Hello, sir.
I'm the chairman and managing director of Pushkaraj Group. And Sanjay and Kalurkar sir have put me in this group of academicians
Sir
and
is a great
entrepreneurs.
advisor. Advisor. He's the advisor for the whole team and mentor.
Just step in to get
It's an
introduced to
honor
you.
and privilege to meet you digitally. Thank you so very much for
Thank you,
providing.
Aditya. We'll meet sometime. Yeah.
Yeah. Aditya sir has created a great impact for Pune University, sir.
Oh, no, lovely.
He established a department on a no grant basis, and I hope it is one of the richest department of the university today.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, it is.
Yes. And that is great contribution.
So I have presented my screen. Is it visible?
Yes.
Yeah, we can.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir, visible.
Great. Okay. I'll stop sharing it and I will start sharing it once
Yeah.
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
Deepali
Sharing.
madam,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, sir.
Deepali
Yes, sir.
madam, our PPT has to be shared, and we will begin with the introduction.
Yes, sir. So you will start sharing, no?
Yeah, actually, I have shared to you already. You have a PPT.
So shall I share? Shall I share?
Yes.
Okay.
And same time you are going live also, no? Madam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Live is there, sir. It is going on.
Yeah. Okay.
On YouTube also?
Yes, sir. On YouTube only.
Okay.
Then we will-
Share the PPT. I will start introduction.
I think there is some technical.
Deepali madam, are you shared?
Yes, sir.
Madam?
Give me a minute. It will be shared. Just a minute. Just a minute. it is visible now, Jagtap sir?
Screen.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Can we begin? Yes. Deepala madam, can I begin? Deepali madam, can I begin now?
Yes, sir. You can. Yes, sir.
First slide. Welcome all students, faculty, industry professionals, and entrepreneurs from Innovation, Entrepreneurship and Startup Forum and Atharva College of Engineering, Mumbai for the inaugural session of webinar series. Today, the session 1 we are conducting on from Notworking to Networking by the today's address by the Dr. Aditya Abhyankar, Dean, Faculty of Technology, Professor and HOD, Department of Technology, SPPU, Pune. That I will introduce first about Innovation, Entrepreneurship and Startup Forum, IES Forum. Innovation, Entrepreneurship and Startup Forum, IES Forum is an initiative taken by faculty from various institutes across different cities in Maharashtra. Innovators, startup founders, mentors, and incubation managers who are passionate and interested to contribute in strengthening innovation and startup ecosystem. Presently, IES Forum, about IES Forum, presently IES Forum is a group of 205 plus individual professionals from industry and academia who have an interest and passionate, want to share more, learn more, and be a positive instrument of positive change for early stage entrepreneurs. Our IES Forum objective is to create and develop innovation and startup ecosystem by implementing innovation, leadership, and business development practices. The IES Forum vision is to develop a recognized entrepreneurship forum which imbibe innovation, leadership, and business development practices among the stakeholders that generates successful entrepreneurs and which will make a social impact for the community development. With this vision, we are achieving it by our mission is to provide all kind of support services and strengthen the innovation and entrepreneurship sales, incubation centers of the each and every institute by implementing various initiatives in collaboration with the institutes. Our mission is to develop a passion and spirit among the students and faculty to pursue entrepreneurship as a career option. One of the major, our mission is to IES Forum will act and develop as a mechanism or a linkage between industry and academia for the startup ecosystem development in a local region. With this vision and missions, I would like to introduce our IES Forum team members. Presently, since from inception, IES Forum we are started in April 2020. Since from inception, the IES Forum we are implementing various initiatives and planning ahead to conduct the upcoming initiatives in collaboration with the institution and industrial organizations. Our team members, Mr. Shailendra Goswami, Chairman and Managing Director, Pushkaraj Group, Pune. From the beginning, from the inception of IES Forum, they are guiding, mentoring, and they are inspiring us to provide a platform for the early stage entrepreneurs, innovators, students, and faculty. Dr. Srikant Kalurkar, Principal, Atharva College of Engineering, Mumbai, and the today's webinar host institute. Thank you for Principal Sir and the management of the institutes that you are happy to host our IES Forum webinar series session. Dr. Rakesh Sharma, convener, Incubator and Accelerator Center, HOD, Management Study, Jain College, Mumbai. Myself, Sanjay Jagtap, Head of the Entrepreneurship Cell, Assistant Professor in Mathematics, JSPM's Imperial College of Engineering and Research, Pune. Mr. Sandeep Magdum, Head IIC, Training and Placement Cell, Garda Institute of Technology, Ratnagiri, Matpur representative from Mumbai University, Mr. Suryakant Dodmisi, Incubator Manager from the Rajaram Bapu Institute of Technology, RIT, Technology Business Incubator. Mr. Sopan Agao, a certified ED trainer, is a entrepreneurship development cell coordinator of the institute, that is from Pimpri Chinchwad College of Engineering and Research, Pune. Along with these team members, we are supported by the faculty members of the various institutes, and we have eminent advisory board members on our board. They are guiding us in proceeding the IAS Forum initiatives ahead. With this, about IAS Forum introduction and our team members, I would like to invite Mr. Shailendra Goswami sir to address the today's inaugural session talk on behalf of IAS Forum.
Yeah, thank you, Sanjay. It is a pleasure and privilege to address this gathering. I can see a total number of around 85 people have come on platform, and it's quite a good number considering the almost around 30 plus webinars I've addressed in last 10 months of pandemic. People have started understanding the importance of these digital platforms in exchanging of ideas and understanding what is exactly happening around. And this has been a bit late, but then I think, as I have been talking about during this particular pandemic, the way we have faced challenges, there have been opportunities. One of the biggest opportunities that has opened up is this digital platform, where with very, very minimal expenses, you can really cut across the globe within no time. And as per your time, you can select to have a chat or maybe have a business conference, or it could be sharing of documents and things like that. Earlier, it was restricted only to the families, the people who have migrated to US. So the parents used to every day morning open the Skype chat box or a video box and see their kids and the grandkids and whatnot. But then now I think industry is doing much more than that. And today these platforms have become so effective. Communications are traveling so fast. Jobs are getting done much faster. And I am personally experiencing it even at my age. I'm feeling that I have become very, very young because of these digital platforms. And today, let me welcome Aditya to talk about networking. I really like that topic, not working to networking, because initially, when you are reading it, initially I read it networking to networking. I said, what is this topic Aditya has invented? But then after a while, I could realize it was an aberration, optical illusion. And then I realized it is not working to networking. It is a very fantastic, innovative selection of topics. So I am very sure, Aditya, you will be doing justice to that topic. On behalf of IES Forum, I'll welcome you all. I would like to give a couple of perspectives before we begin. That we have had quite a bit of low in last 12 months on the economy, on the performance, on various factors where people have had mental illnesses, well-being was questioned, and then it was quite a challenge. And as I have conducted more than 8 to 9 sessions of various challenges, along with that, opportunities which have opened up. And mind you, these opportunities are not small, they are very, very big. So as I have been always saying, a door closes, 10 doors open. And the wisdom lies in really looking at those 10 doors which are opening rather than cribbing about a door which has closed on you. So most optimist or a positive minded person will always look at what are those 10 doors which are opening because of one door which has closed. Because you always rely on your cozy setup of not really venturing out when everything is available to you. So when the shoe pinches, you start looking for alternatives, and this is what exactly has happened in last 10 months. And then we started realizing a laptop which is there with you can really create wonders and can create really fantastic amount of businesses for you if it is used beyond Facebook and Instagram and whatnot. So, of course, those things are also important in some way. But then for business purposes, these digital platforms have been used very, very extensively. Earlier, we were using it on a limited scale, but then this has opened up. Now, the economy in these days have really taken a lot of beating. We went down up to minus 29.7. And today's paper, you must have read it, that we have crossed, which is what we had forecasted. In many of my sessions, I have indicated that in the second half of this year, we would turn the tide, although 3 months later, but then we have entered into the positive zone where today the GDP has taken 0.4% plus. And in March, we might cross a 1% or 2%. And next year, again, we will go back to 6 or 7%. So I would like to give that hope to all our brothers and sisters in the entrepreneurship domain that please do not lose hope. Please keep working the way you have been working all along. Don't think too much about this pandemic and its effects and challenges thrown at us. Just learn to survive in this period, and then there will be growth which will be waiting for you. And mind you, there will be an onslaught of demand which you will not be able to cope up with. So the global platform has also opened. So you have to really start looking outward. Normally, we have been an inward-looking society, and that is where we really take pride in doing things in a much smaller way. But then you have to think global now, because the entire global platform is open. Everyone is looking at India as the healthcare hub. Everyone is looking at India as the manufacturing hub. Everyone is looking at India as an IT hub. Everyone is looking at India on the human capital, which is there. We have more than 55% of the population, which is young. We have so many startups. Almost 55% of the manufacturing industry is being supported by all the startups and MSMEs, which is where the birth of IES Forum came about. And I'm very glad that so many members have got attached to this. And IES Forum is doing its job, of course, with certain baby steps as such. But then ultimately the objectives are very, very noble. And then people like Aditya and some speakers coming in, trying to educate our contingent here. And we thank you all for supporting this particular forum. IES would definitely see a light at the end of the tunnel, maybe a year from now, because we are organizing, because so many people are joining in, and then so many ideas are there. So we are framing up the constitution, we are framing up the mandate, we are framing up the vision, we are framing up the vision, mission, and so on and so forth, the websites and all. So I wish you all the best to all the participants here, ladies and gentlemen. Aditya, all the best for your series, and I would like to have your presentation maybe a little later because right now I have to leave. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I will hand over the session to Professor Deepali Maste, HOD IT Department from Atharva College of Engineering.
Good morning, all. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All of us do not have equal talent, but all of us have an equal opportunity to develop our talents. Today, I remember this beautiful quote by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, sir. Good morning, all. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Deepali Maste. I am Head of Information Technology Department at Atharva College of Engineering, Mumbai, and convener of Atharva ISL. On behalf of Atharva College of Engineering and IES Forum, I welcome you all. This webinar series is organized to enlighten on various topics which might be useful for participants in pursuing their career goal. In this webinar series, scheduled for 2 days, that is 27th and 28th of February 2021, we have eminent speakers with us. Just now you have listened to Mr. Sharendra Goswami, sir, Dr. Aditya Abhyankar, sir, Mr. Harish Mehta, sir, who will talk on most interesting topics with us. We are grateful for them for accepting our invitation. Like all of you, I am also eager to listen to them. I'm really thankful to entire team of IES Forum and especially Professor Sanjay Jagtap sir for initiating and associating this activity with Atharva College of Engineering. Atharva College always believes in innovative talent of people and always seeks every opportunity in order to nourish that talent through its excellent infrastructure, organizing various events like conferences, project exhibitions, idea competitions, training programs, and so on. Our 20 innovative projects from different streams have received grant of amount rupees 33 lakhs in 5 years from IEDC DST, which has outcome of 4 startups. Till now, 7 patents registered by our students. We are associated with IEDC DST NEN, Institution Innovation Council MHRD, Incubation Center MSME. We are grateful to our visionary leadership, Honorable Shri Sunil Rane Sir, Executive President, Atharva Group of Institute, for always providing all valuable guidance and direction. Big thank you to Dr. P.N. Nemade Sir, Director of Atharva College of Engineering, for his consistent support always. Thanks to our principal, Dr. Shrikant Kalurkar Sir, for his expert guidance always. Without your support, this webinar wouldn't have been possible, sir. Our heartfelt gratitude to all vice principals, HODs, faculty members, and students of Atharva College of Engineering for providing us all necessary support. Our deepest thanks to our organizing partner, IES Forum, for all necessary support in coordinating and conduction of this webinar. We welcome you all. Thanks for your interest and active participation in attending this webinar series. So let's begin with. Thank you. Just we'll have a look now on the video, small video of Atharva College of Engineering. Thank you for being with us. Just wait a minute.
Nice. Mhm.
We introduce ourselves as Extreme Technology. We travel with you for a long vision. Explore you to the next possibilities of engineering.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Maste madam. Hello, Dr. Harish.
Umang sir, just 2 seconds. We are facing some technical difficulties. It will be live.
Otherwise, you go ahead with this. Okay, try the last try, and otherwise you go ahead.
introduce ourselves as Extreme Technology. We travel with you for a long vision. Explore you to the next possibilities of engineering and technologies, from the smallest discoveries to the biggest enhancements. We always keep moving on to provide you the most leading world-class infrastructures and resources as mentor of your vision. We prepare you for leadership. We make you confident. We flash your passion into the sky. We add new colors to your life. We help you choose the opportunities that are waiting for you on your path. We teach you to be devoted. We together discover the new taste of the generation. culture. We commit you to form a quality people in life. We are Atharva, a leading brand of education and technology.
I'll hand over the session to Jagtap sir to introduce our speaker. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam. IES Forum webinar series session first on not working to networking. Today's speaker, Dr. Aditya Abhyankar. He is currently working as a Dean, Faculty of Technology, Professor and Head, Department of Technology, Savitribai, Phule, Pune University. Dr. Abhyankar has done B.ENTC from Savitribai, Phule, Pune University in 2001, MS and PhD in Electrical and Computer Engineering from Clarkson University, USA in 2003 and 2006, respectively. Dr. Aditya Abhyankar won the number of national and state awards like IES Scientist of the Year 2011, Sir C.V. Raman Award in 2015. Dr. Aditya Abhyankar has been involved in number of funding, research project and consultancy activities. His research has attracted funds from international agencies like IOCRC and TFRC, and also the national funding agencies like DST, RGSTP, AICTE, etc. He provided consultancy to number of industries like Biometrics, LLC in USA, Vision ND, Canada, Optimus System, India, By Design in Bangalore, etc. Dr. Abhyankar has been associated with Aadhaar project and contributed significantly in finalizing other norms and standards to be adopted across the country. Dr. Abhyankar is a director of Aditya Soptics Private Limited, and Dr. Abhyankar has generated funding under RUSA, Rashtriya Uchchatar Shiksha Abhiyan, to form a SPV Section 8 company at SPPU to promote and incubate business propositions into tangible forms and to promote and nurture innovative research culture. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Aditya Abhyankar sir to address the session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so very much, and very good morning to one and all. I had thought very comfortably I will say good morning, but this is almost good afternoon. And at the outset, I would like to take this opportunity and thank IES for creating such a wonderful forum. Thank you, respected Goswami sir, for putting up the platform so neatly and nicely. Thank you, Dr. Kallurkar, who is a very dear friend, and I'm associated with Professor Kallurkar for quite a few number of years now, and through him with Atharva College also for quite some time. Thank you, Sanjay Jagtap sir, Deepali ma'am, for all the coordination and putting the intricacies in place. Really appreciate it. And as rightly mentioned by Goswami sir, this session is from not working to networking. So just give me a minute here. I'm going to share my slides and then we'll get started. And I would request one of the organizers to please confirm that my slides are visible. Are the slides visible?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Thank you. So we intend to discuss from not working to networking. And probably for last 1 odd year or so, we have experienced this. We have realized the importance of going from not working to networking. And probably this COVID-19 pandemic, there are so many downsides to it, but there are a couple of bright silver linings to it. And that is, in last 5 to 6 or months, the technology has hit a fast forward button. And what would have else and otherwise happened in 5 to 6 odd years, that has happened in last 5 to 6 odd months. And we have very mature digital platforms through which we can connect with each other, like we have connected right now. And because of this, we can cut across geographical locations, we can cut across time and space. And that's why I believe that it's a great opportunity for the young bright minds to innovate and come up with very interesting solutions. And that's why I honestly believe that this is the most opportune time that we are discussing about the innovation and entrepreneurship. This is the time when we are talking about NEP, new education policy. This is the time when academia has been very open. It was never this open before. This is the time when we have excellent programs from government with the likes of Digital India and Stand Up India and Make in India and so on and so forth. And that's why what is really required for the innovators, what is really required for potential entrepreneurs is you should have mentors. You should in fact have a network of mentors. You should have opportunities to connect with venture capitalists, angel investors. You should understand how you're going to do the business pitch and so on and so forth. And because of all these various schemes from state government and center government, because the academia has opened up so much, I believe that this is the most opportune time for budding entrepreneurs to get incubated and come up with interesting startups and convert their ideation into something which is tangible. However, we also need to understand that this is very tall order, and we can keep saying about it, but we need to accept this with a pinch of salt, in fact with a feast of salt. And that's honestly because if this is the case, if we have the complete ecosystem in place and we have so many forums, there are so many incubators in place, and there are funding opportunities, then the question is, how many successful startups do we get per year in our country? And let's forget about our country. Even if we talk about the statistics in the most developed countries in the world, is that statistics very encouraging? And I would like to give you just a couple of quick examples. In 2008, when Barack Obama became the president of the US with a thumping majority, in one of the few earlier very interesting decisions that he took, he announced a package of $10 billion to support top 100 startup opportunities in the US. And they did that. The screening was done. They invited 100 most brilliant minds in the business, and they came up with 100 very interesting ideas, and those ideas were supported. And they took the review of those 100 ideas after 2 years, that is in 2010. And you will be surprised to know, any guesses out of these 100 ideations which were supported in a developed country like the US? And imagine 10 billion kitty for those 100. That means every ideation must have got their fair share of funding. Any idea how many out of these 100 succeeded? You can type your answers in a chat box, or you can unmute and give a wild random guess. Any guesses? Anyone?
50%. Sir, 50%.
Yes, 50%. That's a good guess. Okay. Any other guesses? I'm just trying to open a chat box. Has anyone typed in a lot of answers? 50 and 20% and 35%. Oh, all. So there is one very optimistic answer. All of them became successful. 10%. So variety of answers in this. You will be surprised to know that out of these 100 top most exciting ideas which were supported in 2008 by Barack Obama, not a single idea became a success story. All 100 ideas they actually flunked, and none of them they could see the daylight. And this is because uh, for majority of these ideas, the ecosystem was missing. And I'm talking about some 12 odd years back. For even a developed country like US, they were still struggling to really have the complete ecosystem in place. So US then had a very strong research facilities. US then had a very strong business community. However, it's extremely important to convert research into development and development into applied development and then connect it with an interesting problem that you're trying to solve. And this journey is so tough. And sometimes you have to do your experimentation 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times. And the failures are so frustrating. And it is extremely important for the incubators to understand this. It is extremely important for the management to keep on supporting these ideas, because after 100 failures, who knows, the 101st attempt could be a successful attempt. It is very important, though, to learn from the failed attempts. It is very important to learn from the mistakes. And in Marathi, there is a popular saying. We say, "Apayash hi yashachi pahili pairi aste." The first failure is the first step towards success. However, the corollary of this is not true. So, second failure is never second step towards success. Dusra अपयश ही यशाची दुसरी पायरी नसते. It's extremely important to learn from the mistake and then come over those challenges in order to be able to make a very steady and systematic progress towards achieving the goal. Sometimes the incubators, the management, they become restless, they become little impatient, and that's because we all work in constraints. So this is a constrained optimization problem. And that's why it's very important that the incubators, they should really be patient, and they should understand that the new budding entrepreneurs, they will fail, they will make mistakes. As long as they're learning from their mistakes, it's very important to give them opportunity to learn and grow. And that's why three things, according to me, are extremely important for any budding entrepreneur. The first one is how you manage the intellectual property of your business venture. It is very important to protect your intellectual property, come up with appropriate patents. Sometimes you have to also protect the other opportunities around, and you have to come up with bunch of patents in order to make sure that your competitors, they won't catch up with you. Second very important thing is creative thinking. So apart from innovative thinking, it is very important to be creative. If you are creative, then and only then you'll be able to make people around you understand the importance of what you are producing. If your product and the potential of your product is not understood, it could be a fantastic product, but people may not be able to really understand and appreciate what you have created. And that's why it's very important for any entrepreneur to be creative and come up with very interesting creative idea. And the third one is very practical, very pragmatic, smart approach. If you really want to capture the market, you have to understand taking the pole position. And that's why the smart approach is also extremely important. However, according to me, beneath all of this, behind the facade of innovation and entrepreneurship and startups, the rock solid foundation that you have to have, without which it's very difficult to really come up with something that will sustain over time, something which is of quality. That foundation, according to me, is research. And unless and until we as a community don't understand the importance of research, we may not be able to really come up with business propositions that can sustain over longer period of time. So let's understand this concept little more. Why should we do research? Why should we innovate? And a small and quick answer of this question is Industry 4.0. We all know that we are in an era of Industry 4, and there is some historical background to this. The European market was getting, and also the American market was getting heavily dominated by the Chinese mass production manufacturing setups. And that's why Europeans, they started losing their jobs and opportunity and the market share so drastically that they had to come up with an innovative plan to circumvent this. And that's how the whole concept of Industry 4.0 that got germinated in Germany, it has become very popular these days. And the mantra of Industry 4.0 is to move from scaling to skilling. So before Industry 4.0, the manufacturing was scaled up, and that's because the designs were pre-decided, the designs were kind of prefixed, and that's why it was possible to come up with huge mass production setups. That's precisely what China did. And now they have shifted the gears from scaling to skilling. So now every product will be different. For example, if you want to buy a laptop, now you can create your own laptop, how much memory you want. You don't have to necessarily pick a laptop which is available off the shelf. And this was not possible earlier. And so they have really making it possible in every possible product space, so to say. And that's why the mantra is to move from scaling to skilling. And it's very important to have those skill sets with you in order to be able to come up with innovative products. And the only way you can achieve this, in my opinion, is by virtue of keeping yourself agile. Adaptation is the key. Learning and unlearning, ability to learn, relearn, unlearn is going to be extremely important in the modern era of Industry 4.0. And this is where I believe 3 Ks will play very important role. The first one is know what, that leads us to the knowledge set. The second one is know how, that leads us to skill sets. And you have to have good blend, you have to have good combination of knowledge and skill sets. So I typically give example of cricket, and this is what the genius Sunil Gavaskar used to say. If a batsman is not playing well, give that batsman little more time, he'll be back in the form, because after all, class is permanent and form is temporary. So similarly in academics, knowledge base is permanent and skill sets are transient, skill sets are temporary. But to score runs, you have to have very solid class, a good knowledge base, but then you also need to have good skill sets. You should be in good nick, good touch, good form. Only then a batsman can score runs. And that's why a good blend of these two is very important. However, if you really want to create your own organization, in my opinion, the third K is more important than these two Ks, and that is know why, which essentially leads you to vantage point. And then if you are smart enough, you can convert that vantage into an advantage. It is very important to know where you stand in the market. What is your market position? What is the pulse of the market? What is required in the market? And you can come up with a brilliant product, but if it is not required in the market, then it's of no use and people are not interested in buying that. As against that, you can come up with a very simple product, and I'm going to give you a few examples down the line. The product could be very simple but extremely useful because people are looking forward to such kind of a solution, and then it would hit the market like anything. And that's why adaptation is the key, and these three Ks are going to play very important role if you really want to make your startup a success story. Research and innovation, in my opinion, has become an absolute necessity. It's no more a luxury. And unfortunately, the kind of educational system that we have imbibed from the British, it predominantly makes our students memorize and by heart. It rarely makes them think. It rarely challenges their ability to think and go out of their comfort zone. And if you really want to become successful entrepreneurs, or if you want to do good quality research, it's extremely important to step out of your comfort zone, challenge your wit, go out on a limb. If you are in your comfort zone, you already know the things, then you won't be able to create something new. And it's human tendency to stay within your comfort zone. And it's very important to push yourself out of that comfort
Excuse
zone.
me, sir, if we
Only
can
then will you.
change the PPT slide, if or the same slide we want.
Why? Yeah. This is the same slide I'm discussing. I'm discussing the same slide. So innovation is no more a luxury. It has become a necessity. That is the first bullet. Is that what you're seeing?
No, sir, no.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes, sir.
Wonderful. Then this is the one. This is the one that I'm discussing still. Okay.
Sir,
And
okay.
that's why innovation.
Many are asking in the chat box. That is why.
Okay. No worries. Sure. So innovation has really become a luxury. It's a necessity. It's no more a luxury. We have to innovate. And this is important because only by virtue of doing that, we will be able to come up with differentiating characteristics. Don't you think that the key to succeed in professional life, you could be a part of an organization, or you might want to become entrepreneur yourself and create your own organization? It is extremely important to be different. It is very important to be original, hatke. And the educational system that we have, unfortunately, does not give us enough opportunity to be different. And it's very important to carve out these differentiating characteristics. What is the meaning of this? I'm going to quickly share with you a parody, a story that was created by me and a friend of mine about 13, 14 years back. And it is true even today. In 1971, I'm talking about differentiating characteristics, how important it is to be different, to be original, to be your own self. In 1971, there was a movie named as Bandhan, a nice family drama, and the hero of that movie was Jitendra. So for the new generation, Jitendra is father of Tushar Kapoor and Ekta Kapoor. And his mother's role was played by the veteran actress Durga Khote. And in one of the scenes, the hero comes running back home and says, "Ma, main BA pass ho gaya. Now I am Bachelor of Arts." And the mother becomes so happy that instantly she cooks gajjar ka halwa. Because in 1971, passing BA degree was equivalent to settling down in life, getting a good job, and passport for getting married to the heroine of the movie. Now, if they make a remake of this movie in 2021, and they will, right? Because they have ran out of their ideas and they're only remaking the olden golden movies. And let's say Ekta Kapoor produces this movie. So name of the movie will be Kandan because it has to begin with K. And naturally, probably she will offer the lead role to a brother. So let's say Tushar Kapoor plays the hero's role. And we can pray to the Almighty that at least the poor fellow will get a couple of dialogues, because in most of his movies he's either deaf or dumb. And who will play mother's role? Unfortunately, we have lost Reema Lagoo, but these days Madhuri Dixit is also playing mother's role. So let's say Madhuri Dixit plays mother's role, and hero of this new movie made in 2021 comes back running home and tells his mother कि माँ मैं B.Tech pass हो गया. Now I am an engineer. I have earned Bachelor of Technology. We talk about smart cities and smartphones. So super intelligent mothers. No gajjar ka halwa. The first question will be campus हुआ क्या? And if the poor hero says yes, हाँ माँ हो गया, still no gajjar ka halwa. The next query, package kitna? And if the hero gives a good package answer, still no gajjar ka halwa. The next question will be, what are the plans for higher education, GATE or GRE or CAT, MAT, ZAT, whatever. And the questions will go on and on and on. And that's because, just imagine, in 2021, how many institutions do we have and how many graduates do we produce? And literally, there is rat race out there in the professional market. And that's why, unless and until there is differentiating characteristics, it's very difficult to survive in the market. And what will really give the entrepreneurs differentiating characteristics is their ability to think differently, the ability to create their own perspective, which is extremely important. And that's why doing research, stepping out of comfort zone, innovation in the things is going to lead the pathway. And only then it will be possible to have the differentiating characteristics. I will tell you another funny incident.
Sir,
I
you
was,
said,
yes.
sir, you said to be by own means be different from others. But if we don't have any experience, how can we start up a new thing or new product or something? We need the experience, so we have to work for some years and then we can start up for a new thing or new workout.
Yes, thank you. That's a very good and very important question. You have to have references, and that's why it's always good to see what others are doing. Take inspiration from their work. However, there is no fun in copying somebody else's work. And believe me, ma'am, these days the habit of copying each other has gone into our DNA so subtly. And I'm going to give you a few examples to convince you on that we have lost this art of asking the quality questions to our inner self. For example, let's, in fact, a very good question raised. Let's do this exercise, and then probably you will understand what I'm trying to say. Let's rewind in our minds. Let's go to first standard. From first standard to 10th standard, we do exactly what our peers do. Not a single opportunity to be different. And then we get into either science or arts or commerce. And you all can rewind in your minds and you can think, after passing 10th, did you really think whether I'm best suited for science or arts? I'm an excellent singer, so I should pursue my career in arts. Not really. Majority of the times, it is governed by our marks. If you get good marks, science, medium marks, commerce, bad marks, arts. Why? We also need brilliant minds in arts. And then 11th and 12th, we do exactly what our peers do. And then for all crazy reasons, we get into different branches of engineering and we do counseling every single year. And I have heard all crazy reasons. There was a student who was frustrated after doing 3 years of computer engineering. And I asked him, so why did you get into computer engineering? And he said, it was wish of my grandmother. And for all crazy reasons, students, they end up picking up various career streams without thinking on their own. The copying is so subtle. What my friends are doing. My friend says that, hey, mechanical engineering is evergreen branch. Let's take mechanical. It's very important to spend quality time with your own self. Sit back, relax, not see what others are doing, but ask your own self, what do I really enjoy? Do I enjoy electronics engineering? Do I really enjoy computer engineering? Do I enjoy drawing pictures? What is it that really excites me? What is it that really brings the passion out of me? It's very important to ask that question, and somewhere we have lost the track of asking this question to our own self. That's what I'm saying. I will give you one more funny incident. About 10 odd years back, there was a drawing competition in Pune, and I had taken my niece. She was in the fourth standard then, and there was a big drawing competition at Sarasbag in Pune, and the subject was not declared a priori. And on the spot, the organizers announced that the topic for the picture that you should draw is patriotism. And for first 5 odd minutes, the students were just looking around and they had no clue what to draw. And then one student came up with the basic abstraction concept. He drew a tricolor flag. He drew 3 steps to that flag. He drew 2 jawans doing a salute to the flag. And I was taking a stroll, and within next 40-45 odd minutes, believe me or not, more than 95% of the students were drawing same picture. I'm not saying similar, I'm saying same picture. Tricolor flag, there were exactly 3 steps to that flag, and there were exactly 2 jawans putting a salute to the flag. So subtly, knowingly, unknowingly, intentionally, unintentionally, could be because of the educational pattern that we have. Our students, they get so much habituated to looking at what your friends are doing, what your colleagues are doing, what your peers are doing. And no harm in looking around, no harm in taking inspiration, but we should not copy. We should remember that we have our own DNA sequence. We have unique fingerprints. We have unique iris. We have unique face. We are all born different. We all are born unique. And that's why it's only going back to your roots and be original and stop copying each other. And that's what I meant by having differentiating characteristics. In research, we do literature survey. We thoroughly understand the literature. We thoroughly look at what others are doing to understand where the technology stands. And then we look at the loopholes where there is still scope for producing some interesting solution. And then we start working on a few areas. And that's why literature review is extremely important. But there is no fun in replicating and duplicating what has been already done before. And that's why being different, being original is very, very important if you really want to become entrepreneurs. This is also very important because this typically gets manifested in our industry and our companies as well. If you look around, and I will typically give you an example of our IT sector. And if I ask you, which is the IT company, biggest IT company of Indian origin, then what's the answer? You can again type your answers in the chat box. I will quickly see your answers. The biggest IT industry of Indian origin. Yes. So there are variety of answers. TCS, Infosys, Wipro. Okay. And the answer of this question is, it is TCS. So TCS, Capgemini. Okay. Not Google. Yeah, it's definitely not Google. So the answer of this question is TCS. So TCS stands for, it is not tea, coffee, snacks. It stands for Tata Consultancy Services. So very openly we say we are predominantly into services, and not just TCS. You name any other company. It could be Infosys or Wipro or Persistent Systems, KPIT, Zensar. There's so many industries and companies around us. And all of these are predominantly into providing services. And from services to solutions to tools to frameworks to applications and finally into products. It's a long journey. And do we really have product companies? The answer of this question is known to us.
Yes, sir, we do have.
Where are the product companies? Most of the product companies, they are either in the US or Europe. So product companies with the likes of Google and Microsoft and Dell and Facebook and so on and so forth. Our companies, they're predominantly into providing services. And when you are service providers, you have to work a lot, 18 hours, 20 hours, 22 hours. But the risk is less. You don't need to invest into doing research. And your profit margins are also limited. If you're a product company, the risk is more. The responsibility to carry out good research is more, but the benefits are also more. More risk, more benefits, and the profit margins that you earn are also huge. This is the reason why if you are working in IT sector in India, you have to really slog out. You have to work for 18, 20 hours. You have to work odd hours as per the convenience of your clients sitting overseas. And it's very important to understand the significance of research, innovation, ability to think, ability to ask questions. And only when this starts to happen, only when we bring back research culture, we'll have more and more product companies. Only then we'll be able to understand the importance of failures and how we can learn from those mistakes and failures. It is extremely important. You might think that, hey, why are we discussing so much about it? And just to convince you more on this, I'm going to quickly share a couple of teasers with you. How insensitive we have gone to this art of asking interesting questions. And in fact, I used to ask these two questions as a small kid. And these two teasers are connected with two very important concepts, time and space. And many giant scientists, they have invested the whole of their life talking about time and space. And the first question I used to ask was, so why do we get 60 seconds in a minute? The basic concept of a second, we get it from nature. So there are quartz crystal, they oscillate with certain frequency, and that gives us 1 second. But the concept of 1 minute or 1 hour is created by us. So why 60? What is so special about 60? And the second question that I used to ask about space is, why do we get strange number of days, odd number of days in the month of February? Is it not really strange? And we are towards the end of Feb now. So tomorrow we are 20th, the last day of February. So why do we get odd number of days in the month of February? Is it not really strange? If at all I need to do any adjustment, I should typically do that in the last month. So if I get odd number of days in December, it's perfectly all right. But why in February? So I work in the field of machine learning and artificial intelligence, and we write algorithms which are iterative. And iteration after iteration, the algorithm marches on towards the optimum solution. And so there is this popular saying in English. They say, march on towards your target. And there are marching songs they sing in Army and Navy. We never say January on, do we? So there is this popular saying in English, march on. So let's play a game. Let March be the first month of our new calendar system, and April be the second month, and May then becomes the third month. And as we continue, and as we are in the 7th month, in Sanskrit, 7 is Sapta. And from Sapta, we get September. And 8 is Ashta. And from that, we get October. And 9 is Navam. And we get November. And 10 is Dasham. And we get December out of it. And now January becomes the 11th month. And February now becomes the 12th and the last month. So if we get strange number of days in Feb, it's now understood, provided we start our calendar in the month of March, not otherwise. And that's precisely what we used to do earlier. If you look at Hindu calendar or Buddhist calendar or old Chinese system, Japanese system, Iranian calendar, Roman calendar, Greek calendar, they all suggest starting our year by around March or April. And there is also geographical reason behind it. So on 21st of March, we get equinox, or in Marathi we call it as sampat, equal division of day and time. And that's why it makes a lot of sense to start the calendar from that time onwards. And yet, not just bunch of us who are connected through this digital meeting, but the entire globe, entire universe follows this crazy looking calendar, logically illogical calendar, where January is the first month of the calendar. What could be the reason? Keep thinking about it. If time permits, I will spill the beans towards the end of this session. But the larger point that I'm trying to bring out is
European invaders.
yes, that's right. But we'll skip that and we'll save that for discussion. But the larger point that I'm trying to bring out is somewhere we have lost this art of asking questions. And we had that legacy in our country. All our manuscripts, they are in the form of dialogues. Bhagavad Gita is a dialogue between Krishna and Arjun. Or Chandogya Upanishad is a dialogue between Shvetaketu and Uddalakaruni. It's not a one-way traffic. It's a dialogue. It's not a monologue. And it's very important to ask questions. It's important to be curious. It's important to be inquisitive. And if you're not inquisitive, sometimes my students, they ask me, sir, so what, we follow a crazy calendar system? It's not doing any harm to us. To convince them more, I give them one more quick example, and I will give that and then quickly we'll move on, because there are two more very interesting stories and few examples that I want to cover, and I will probably cover everything in another 10 odd minutes.
What does fusion versus
Yeah.
so
What's
what
the
does
question?
fission versus fusion means in this PPT you have written around?
So I have a request. We'll have the question and answer session towards the end. I skipped that slide, but probably I will towards the end. I will quickly explain what is the meaning of fission versus fusion. So in fission, from larger set you end up getting a smaller set. For example, from maths we got physics, and from physics we got few of the core branches of engineering like mechanical and civil and electrical. From that we got the circuit branches, and from that we got the computing branches. So this is fission, and it's very natural. Fusion is when you fuse and you bring two or more objects together, and fusion is based on market forces. So fission happens naturally, but for fusion we must understand market forces, without which we will not be able to create technologies, without which we will not be able to create solutions and answers. So I hope that answers the question. Now, another quick example. The capital of our state, Mumbai. Before the British invasion happened, we had three capital cities, Pune, Satara, Kolhapur, also Nagpur for a short duration. And then the British, they moved it to Mumbai because for them the most convenient mode of commutation was through sea. Then the British left, and without even thinking about the consequences, we continued with Mumbai as our capital. It is the most non-conducive place to become capital of any state. In fact, it is not even a place, bunch of islands. You have to construct bridges, artificially build infrastructure by literally downtrading the water of sea. And after doing all of this, if there is a meeting at Mantralaya at 4 o'clock, and if I start my journey at 8 in the morning from Pune, there is absolute uncertainty that I'll be able to reach there in time. 4 inches of rainfall for 4 hours, good enough to paralyze the city for 4 days. And we were able to not think through, see through, and that's why we continued with what British gave us. And instead of investing, we have vested crores and crores of rupees just to build infrastructure. Another quick example, if you move down south, we had great capital in form of Mysore. And the British, they moved it to Bangalore, which has now become Bengaluru. And for any city, for any big giant city to prosper, what you need is water. So all the big cities across the globe, they are housed and banked on the rivers banks of the rivers. The only exception to this rule is Bangalore. There is no river flowing next to Bangalore. Pune is so fortunate that today we have confluence of two rivers, Mula and Mutha. And today it's Marathi Bhasha Din. So I will say something in Marathi. म्हणूनच पुणेकरांना मुळातूनच अडमुठे म्हणतात की काय कोणास ठाऊक, त्या मुळा आणि मुठेच्या पाण्यातच काहीतरी असेल. That's just on the lighter vein. And if you don't understand Marathi, please pardon me. Please get it translated from your friends. But you have to have water, without which the cities won't prosper. And the only exception is Bangalore. And there are 4 states fighting over Kaveri issue. Again, instead of investing, we have wasted crores and crores of rupees just to supply water to the city of Bangalore. Had we thought through, we could have shifted it back to Mysore, and Mysore is very conducive to become capital of a state. And that's why what we need is thinking manpower. The ability to think through, being creative, and then come up with interesting solutions to very interesting problems. I'll quickly share with you another 2 very interesting stories. Story of 3 idiots, because the inventions are accidental. Many of the times they happen by serendipity, and you have to be patient. You have to keep working hard, and only the serendipity will happen to you. And I'm going to share with you story of 3 idiots, but this is my own version of story of 3 idiots. All of us, we are talking about IoT platform. And for Internet of Things, for the things to get connected, you also require brain, ability to think. And that emerges out of intelligent frameworks and systems. And what has become buzzword in modern era is deep learning. Deep learning, everyone is talking about deep nets and deep systems and deep ability to learn. It's very easy to code and quickly come up with a deep network. For example, AlexNet was the first deep net that got published in 2012. And in MATLAB, for example, you can write a 7-line code. If you're using Python, it's a 3-line code using which you can create a deep network. So coding is not a challenge. What is really important is to understand the nature of the problem and nature of the solution. And for majority of the engineering problems, this is the nature of the problem. If A is my system, then it's all about figuring out X bar so that A times X bar is equal to lambda times X bar. So X bar figures out the essence of the complete system and gives us the correct answer. So X bar is what is known to us as the eigenvector of the system, or the kernel function of our system. If you don't understand this, just don't worry. Understand the big picture, what I'm trying to tell you. So can my machines learn? And the answer is yes. Using simple neurons and using good learning rules like Heb or perceptron, it's possible to evoke the dot product, and you can clearly understand that the machines can learn. For example, this is an AND gate, and if you do those dot products, you will realize that it eventually gives you the correct kind of answer. You can figure it out empirically, where the problem is constraint optimization, or you can also understand it analytically, where this particular line is the linear regression, and the application that emerges out is the classifier. So you build a beautiful classifier. So what guarantees the solution? And the answer is the basis function or the kernel function. And this is exactly what Dr. Fourier was thinking about. He wanted to figure out the eigen solution of the system. So he excited the system with a complex exponential. And what came out of the system was again the same complex exponential of exactly the same frequency omega 0. And then he concluded that, hey, this is the eigen function of any system. So the question is, what is so special about this constant E? There has to be something very, very unique, because it also gives us the instantaneous eigenvalues, which is what is known to us as the discrete Fourier transform. So what is so special about this E? There has to be something very unique. And the truncated value of this constant is 2.7183. So not a very handsome looking constant, very crooked looking constant. What is so special? Well, here comes the serendipity. And to understand this, this is a story of 3 idiots, but not this, because you have already seen this. But again, in my story, there are 3 idiots, but we have to traverse backwards in time. It happened in 16th century. So it's not a color story. It is a black and white story. And the first idiot in this story who accidentally was able to invent this constant is not R. Madhavan, but his name is Dr. Bernoulli. And Dr. Bernoulli helped his banker friend giving a simple expansion of compound interest. So if formula of compound interest is 1 plus 1 upon n bracket raised to n, Dr. Bernoulli said, let's apply limit so that n tends to infinity. And if you solve this, this leads us to that irrational constant, which is what is known to us as the constant E or exponential constant. And then the second serendipity, the second idiot in this story, his name is Dr. Euler. And the constant is also called as E. It's named after this genius scientist. And he told us that e to the power I pi is equal to -1. And even today, there is no formal proof of this. E is an irrational constant. I is imaginary constant. It doesn't even exist. And pi is yet another constant. And together, it leads to -1. That's what makes all the systems orthogonal. And then Dr. Fourier was obviously able to put the things together. And he gave the complete framework of transforms. So accidentally, 3 brilliant pieces of inventions were discovered. And then today, we have solution. More than 95% of the engineering solutions that we have today, it could be the regulator of the fan, or it could be a pump, it could be a mechanical drive system, or it could be a brilliant VLSI integrated circuit of electronics faculty. It could be anything. Most of these, they have this as the basis function or the kernel function. Isn't it really strange? However, these geniuses, they could not get the patent of this. And most of the invention, in my opinion, are apparent accidents. And the accidents are bound to happen, but one has to walk the path first. I will just share a couple of quick things and then I will stop. Another 5 minutes maybe. So this happened with me. I went to Google in 2000 and it was 2000. And I simply could not understand what they were up to because they were really ahead of time. Huge infrastructure, amazing state-of-the-art servers. They were crunching the data in and out from across the globe. And what was the product that came out of Google? Google.com, a harmless search engine. So how were they earning their revenues? Well, they were pushing the envelope. They were making people dependent on them. And today, Google literally knows everything about every one of us. And through SEO, search engine optimization, they end up earning huge amount of revenue. And that's why Google was also really ahead of time. However, as you might know, that it was a simple page rank algorithm that the two geniuses put together. And by serendipity, by a spelling mistake, Google got registered. So it was a serendipity once again. Have you heard of this genius scientist, Ron Jen? He was doing a lot of experimentation on radioactive material. And he had broken marriage. So his wife was not very happy with him. So one day she came and she started destroying his experiments. And accidentally, her hand fell on one of the radioactive material. And accidentally, the first modern picture was captured. You can Google about it. And you can also clearly see the wedding ring in the hand of Ronjan's wife. And see the honesty of the scientist. He said, all right, these rays are invented in my lab, but I really don't know the nature of these rays. So what should I call them? If I don't know, then typically we say, let's call it as X. And so he started calling these rays as some rays, X-rays. And even today, we call them as X-rays. Such was the honesty and integrity of this scientist. Ramanujan, he wrote a formula 1 plus 2 plus 3 and it goes all the way till infinity. And if I ask you, so what it leads to, 99.99% of the people will say, oh, simple, it will be infinite. We are adding numbers, it goes all the way till infinity. It has to be infinity. And Ramanujan wrote letters to many mathematicians across the globe. And he said, no, it will be minus 1 over 12. And people thought that he was mad, but he was not. And today we know that there is a brilliant concept. It's called as Riemann's hypothesis. So if you really are interested in complex world, complex numbers, read about Riemann's hypothesis. And if you plug in zeta value to be equal to -1, then it's a special case what Ramanujan wrote to many mathematicians back in those days. Have you heard of this story that there was a great lord and Rudolph, and he went in his chariot in the outskirts of London, and his chariot got stuck in mud. And then a farmer came forward and he helped him. And the Lord really got overwhelmed and he wanted to help his farmer friend. And so he said, "How can I repay back?" And the farmer said, "Forget about it. I don't need anything." But Lord insisted. So the farmer said, "If you want to do something, can you educate my son?" And the Lord was very happy and he said, "Sure." So he gave the best of the best education to his son. And his son, the son of the farmer, became a very popular doctor in London. And after a few years, son of this lord was critically ill, and he was treated by this famous doctor now. And at that time he treated his son with a medicine that was not approved officially, but it was in experimental phase. And the name of that medicine is penicillin. And the two geniuses, the doctor who invented that medicine is Alexander Fleming, and the person, the son of the Lord who was treated, is Winston Churchill. And we know that both of them, they created history. So another piece of serendipity. Another brilliant example that we see in our country is coming from the Tatas. And we all know that JRD was the first pilot of India. And then he started Tata Airlines, the very first airline of our country. And then he sold that airline to our country. And now it is known to us as Air India. So the great genius minds, they are always ahead of time. But why I'm showing this picture, this is the great person in center, and this is obviously Ratan Tata, as we know. But JRD, before figuring out the first design of an aerocraft, he failed 163 times. And there is a book written by him, My Failed 163 Experiments. If you get a copy of that, just go through. And what you see behind in this picture or here is a bomber plane that was created for our country back in those days. And only after so many failures, you will be able to create something interesting. So failures are part of this regime. Accept them gracefully. Learn from these mistakes. You will not be able to learn in your comfort zone. Failures must be celebrated if you really want to become an entrepreneur. So I would like to summarize this by saying that most of the inventions are apparent accidents. And the accidents are bound to happen, but one has to walk the path first. And for walking the path, you have to see the path, and you'll be able to see your path by virtue of doing innovative thinking, by virtue of doing research. So happy researching to all of you. And this will lead to innovations, incubations, and many success stories coming out of the startups that we create in our country. Thank you so very much for your very patient hearing. I honestly thank you for being very patient audience, and I'll be more than happy to answer the questions now. So should I stop sharing my screen so that
Yes,
probably
sir.
we can throw open the stage for participants to ask the questions?
Yes, you have any questions, students and faculty which are participated?
Hello, am I
Yes,
audible?
yes.
Yes.
A very good afternoon. I have to congratulate Aditya. It was indeed a excellent talk, excellent presentation. It was a lucid presentation, I would call it. The way you related things, it was very interesting, and the analogies you gave was wonderful. Really enjoyed it, and I would actually request you to. I would like a webinar to be conducted for my students from Delhi University. And yes, I totally agree. Critical thinking, thinking out of the box, observation, and getting new things according to your individuality. Each one of us is individual, and our way of thinking, our perspectives are different. And when we see the same thing with different perspectives, different solutions come out, and that is what gives us innovation. So totally agree with you. And I really, really loved that example of Three Idiots. It was indeed a
Thank you.
very
Thank
nice. So congratulations, and probably I would get connected to you for and request you to conduct
Sure.
a similar webinar for the students of Delhi University. This is Dr. Ravinder from
Sure, ma'am.
Delhi University, from the Department of Electronic Science.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Ravinder, for your kind words. Truly appreciate it. And I'm glad that you liked the presentation. We'll be very happy to someday connect with your students as well. Thank you. Thanks a
Yes,
lot.
and indeed, lots of congratulations and best wishes to the organizers for organizing such a nice session. Well needed, really needed in today's time to encourage students, to motivate them, and to get them on the right path.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, any questions? Students?
So I can see one question in the chat box by
Yes.
Anusha. Could you share your insights on networking, please? In fact, that's what we tried to do in this particular talk. See, it's very important to have a research mindset. And then if you have innovative ideas, without the ecosystem, it's very difficult to survive. So get in touch with your mentors, mentors from the technical fraternity, mentors from the business fraternity. Once you have the proof of concept ready with you, it's very important to understand how to scaling it up and take the market. Doing that, you need support from venture capitalists and angel investors. There'll be giant players who would want to buy you out. And for that, you have to have your intellectual property neatly protected. So these 3 or 4 areas are extremely important. This is what I call networking for any budding entrepreneurs. A, protect your intellectual property. B, get connected with your mentors, both technical as well as business. 3, come up with the business pitch of your idea. You should understand your finance well. You should understand the discounted cash flow, how much finance you need for next 3 years, what is the break-even point, when you will start earning revenue for your company. You should really understand your finance well. That's the third part. And fourth, please understand the market requirements, without which your product will not survive in the market. We should think of producing something which is useful for the market. So these 4 pointers are extremely important that I explained in one of the slides. Great.
Yes.
Thank you for asking that question.
Yes, sir.
Any other question from anyone?
Yes, sir. Rightly. Yes, Suyesh. Any question?
हाँ सर I can speak in Marathi.
Yes, yes. Okay, चालेल.
हा सर मी नाशिकमधून जॉईन झालो आहे. हॅलो, नाशिकमधून डिप्लोमा MSBTच्या थ्रू जॉईन झालो आहे सर मी. हॅलो.
ओके. हा सुयश, मला ऐकू येतंय. विचार, क्वेश्चन काय आहे तो विचार.
हो सर, मला असा क्वेश्चन विचारायचा होता की ज्या आता तुमच्या अथर्व कॉलेज इंजिनिअरिंगला ज्या फॅसिलिटीज उपलब्ध आहेत त्यामुळे मुलांचं जे स्टार्टअप होतं आहे, इनोव्हेशन होतं आहे, ते आमच्या नाशिकमध्ये नाही आहे. मग त्याच्यासाठी आम्ही काय केलं पाहिजे? म्हणजे आता आमची इंटरनेट थ्रू तुमच्याकडे आता जॉईन झालो आहे, पण आमच्याकडे अशा फॅसिलिटीज नाही आहे की स्टुडंटचं जे काही म्हणणं असेल, स्टुडंटच्या मनात जी काही भावना असते ना, की आपण काहीतरी आपलं स्वतःचं केलं पाहिजे, हे केलं पाहिजे, तर आम्हाला व्यवस्थित गाईडलाईन्स
नक्कीच,
भेटत
नक्कीच.
नाही गव्हर्नमेंटकडून किंवा कुठून इंटरनेटवरून. तर आम्ही त्यासाठी काय केलं पाहिजे?
सो सुयश, मी स्वतः अथर्व कॉलेजमधून करत नाही, पण अथर्व कॉलेजमधल्या आता ज्या फॅसिलिटीज पाहिल्या, मला वाटतं त्या सगळ्यांकरता खुल्या असतील. त्यामुळे यू कॅन डेफिनेटली अवेल दोज फॅसिलिटीज. मी पुणे विद्यापीठात आणि पुणे विद्यापीठात 2 इन्क्युबेटर्स आणि यू आर मोर दॅन वेलकम. कधीही पुणे विद्यापीठात येऊ शकता अँड विल बी मोर दॅन हॅपी टू देअर. पण तुम्हाला नाशिकमध्येच जर सोल्युशन हवं असेल, तर आता नाशिकमध्ये TCSचा एक खूप इंटरेस्टिंग इन्क्युबेटर तिथे लॉन्च केला गेलेला आहे. त्यामुळे तुम्ही TCSच्या वेबसाईटवर जा आणि त्यांनी नाशिकमध्येच आता खूप मोठा इन्क्युबेटर लॉन्च केलाय. तुम्ही तिथे जाऊ शकता, तिथून तुम्हाला उत्तम सपोर्ट मिळू शकतो.
Sir, can I intervene? Abhyankar sir, can I
येस,
intervene?
कल्लूरकर सर. येस.
एवढ्या नाशिकमध्ये एक नवीन इन्क्युबेशन सेंटर सुरू होत आहे आणि त्याचा एम आहे आत्मनिर्भर भारत. मला वाटतं आज किंवा उद्या नाशिकचे पेशकार साहेब यांचं एक सेशन आहे. तुम्हाला जर ती माहिती मिळू शकली तर तुम्ही ते सेशन अटेंड करा. विशेषतः आत्मनिर्भर भारत पॉईंट ऑफ व्ह्यू इन्क्युबेशन सेंटर नाशिकमध्येच होऊ घातलेलं आहे. फॉर्च्युनेटली आय एम मेंटरिंग दॅट ॲक्टिव्हिटी. तर लवकरच एखाद्या वर्षाच्या आत तुम्हाला नाशिकमध्येच ही सगळी फॅसिलिटी मिळायला सुरुवात होईल.
हॅलो सर, एक क्वेश्चन होता. जर नाशिकमध्ये हे होतंय, पण मग जे आम्हाला कसं काय कळेल की जे हायर क्लास
कळेल. पेशकार सरांचं उद्या नाशिकमध्ये लेक्चर आहे, त्याची लिंक मी पाठवायची व्यवस्था करतो.
हो, चालेल.
नाशिकचेच आहेत हे पेशकार साहेब आणि त्यांना हे करायचंय. मी फक्त मेंटरिंग करतोय.
अच्छा,
नाशिकसाठी, विशेषतः नाशिककरांसाठीच हे होऊ घातलेलं आहे आणि त्याचं एम आहे आत्मनिर्भर भारत. ओके
सर, थँक्यू.
Sir, on behalf of IES Forum, can I share views?
Sure, sir. Please.
Yes, please.
Dear all students and faculty, since from last 10 months, the IES Forum, we have started the faculty initiative from various institutes from different cities. Nagpur, Aurangabad, Nasik, and some other cities are there. The faculty, we have a faculty group. And along with this, IES Forum has some startup community members are associated. Around 295 startups are associated with us. And we are at beginning stage. We are laying the foundation of to be a recognized making a IES Forum. The idea behind IES Forum starting is to establish a network-based forum that will imbibe innovation, leadership, and business development practices in a local region. Suppose IES Forum, Nagpur chapter, Pune chapter, Nashik chapter. So like this way, we are forming a region-wide chapter in future. So this is our beginning here. And IES Forum in upcoming webinars, definitely we would like to associate with the institute from Nagpur city, Nasik city. It may be Sandeep Foundation or any other institute. Would like to associate with them, and would like to strengthen and support innovation and entrepreneurship cell from that institute, so that the innovators, students, and budding entrepreneurs will take the benefit of IES Forum by joining or by supporting. This is from our forum site. Yes, sir. And the today topic speakers, Dr. Aditya Abhyankar sir, rightly chosen, because our forum is based on that. Our one of the major service is networking. And sure, in future, we require your guidance in proceeding ahead. We have eminent members in advisory board, and definitely in our journey plan, your guidance and support will definitely help for us.
Sir.
So there is one question that I can see in a chat box by Mr. Prashant. How to do registration of any small scale company? So, like Sanjay sir said, such incubators are meant for providing the platform, and it gives you one-stop solution. So, at Pune University, we have RPF, that is Research Park Foundation. It helps you do end-to-end things. We help you register your companies. We help you connect with the correct set of mentors. We help you understand the difference between technical pitch and business pitch, how you can make effective presentations, how best you can hit the market, when is the right time for your product to hit the market, and so on and so on. This is called as market analysis. So we do everything for you. So approach us. If you are in the basic R&D stage, then Research Park Foundation can help you. I have one more incubator at Pune University where I am the principal investigator. It is called as TEC, Technology Enabling Center. And if you have proof of concept ready with you, if your product is go to market, then we will quickly be able to take it to the next level. So please get in touch with us and we'll be more than happy to help you achieve that.
Yes, sir. Sure, sure.
Sir,
Deepali, madam.
sir,
Great. So, sir, looks like answered most of the questions. If there are any other questions, we can take. We can. Yes.
सर तुम्ही बोललेलात की आय एस तुमचं जे फॉर्म आहे ते स्टार्टअप्सला मदत करतं, पण तुमच्या फॉर्म मधून किती % सक्सेस होतात स्टार्टअप्स?
No, I'd just say since from last 10 months, the IES Forum Foundation, we are late, right? Right now, we are the
success.
So we are implementing initiatives by taking support from university, other support from the government schemes, DST, all these things. And definitely with vision and mission, we will definitely support and any government schemes or startups, definitely we will provide it to the student innovators.
सर ऍक्च्युली मला पर्सेंटेज पाहिजे होते, म्हणजे आता जर तुमच्याकडे 100 मुलं आली आहेत तर त्याच्यातून 20% की 50% त्यांची सक्सेस होतात.
Yes.
I think it's too early to answer this question for IES Forum. Because IES Forum, it just started.
So how you define success? It's function of that. Yeah, so we are running our incubators for now 3.5, 4 years. And I will quickly answer Palvi's question. So it's function of how you define success. According to me, there is 100% success rate because we have incubated 18 companies so far. And out of these 18, 16, they have launched their products. And remaining 2, they are in the process of launching their products. And like I said, you have to be patient. Your first attempt may fail. You have to learn from your mistakes. As long as you are not giving up, in my opinion, you are successful. Hope that answers your question.
Sir, can you explain how you became so successful in your life, Aditya sir?
There are no further questions, then should we conclude this session, sir?
Yes, sir. I will invite Dr. Srikant Kalurkar, sir, to give a concluding remark.
Thank you very much, sir, and good afternoon. And thanks all the participants for such a long time listening.
Sanjay sir, so should we conclude this
session? Dr. Aditya Abhyankar, sir.
Yes, we concluded. Dr. Kalurkar, sir, concluding.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kalurkar, sir.
Sir, I'm concluding, sir, if you permit. Sir. Yeah. In fact, sir mentioned about, sir, Aditya Abhyankar, sir, himself is an example of not working to networking. When he took the charge, I knew him even prior to that. When you took the charge of this department, Pune University, sir, when you took the charge, people were skeptical that probably in a state university, a department on no grant basis will not be successful. Sir started in a small way. And as he mentioned, he gave us an example, research to development and development to applied development. So this is the funda sir personally applied, and today his department is one of the richest departments in Pune University. So he himself is an example of not working, something which is not working. Sir was always working, something which is not working, to convert it into networking. He has large number of industries who want their research to be done under sir's guidance. Even there are some research projects where IIT professors want sir to be involved so that the consultancy of IIT Bombay will enhance. So he is a great example of the topic that he has chosen. Sir mentioned about the ecosystem. In mid-90s, when I was pursuing my research in entrepreneurship, we came up with a terminology called entrepreneurize the society. If you want entrepreneurship to be successful in the society, there is a need to entrepreneurize the society. That means society in general should accept entrepreneurship as the way of life. So same thing today we want, startups, lot of patents, and we need to develop that kind of ecosystem. And that comes from changing the mindset. So thank you very much, sir, for giving this example. He also mentioned about Industry 4.0 scaling to skilling. So what we are doing, we are now moving from mass production techniques in industries to mass customization. Sir mentioned, gave you an example. If you want a laptop, you will be able to design that. The best example is also Mitsubishi, who moved from mass production to mass customization. And today is a need that whenever we are something in entrepreneurship, we think of mass customization. Not only in entrepreneurship, but even in higher and technical education. New education policy is marching towards mass customization to treat every student to be different and serve the needs of the students. Sir mentioned that Google word came by mistake. 5 years back, one company selected 17 students from Atharva, and they were in need of hardly 20-25. So they liked 17 from our college only. And sir, the name of the company was Bewakoof.com. And the entrepreneurs had come to college who started. I said, "Ye kya company ka naam hai? Bewakoof.com." And then they said, "Sir, we were trying many names and then we found that every name is used." And one of us said, "Are kya Bewakoof hai?" And we typed Bewakoof, and Bewakoof.com was acceptable. It's one of the leading companies. He says only in India we are asked. Out of India, no one understands what is Bewakoof.com.
Right.
So sometimes with determination also you can make a mistake, and it's one of the very great success stories. They design many logos, they design t-shirts, they design many products for companies as the corporate gifts. And to do all these things, they found that 17 students were creative enough to help them. They were Bewakoofs. We created Bewakoofs in Atharva who all got selected in Bewakoof.com. So it makes a difference, sir, sometimes to be stupid in a normal sense, because many times it is advised to be wrong at step 1 in creativity to be right at step 2. That's the basic principle of creativity. So innovation by accident, it happens. But today we talk about creativity on demand, and where we talked about focused creativity. Definitely in IES forum, we want our people to be focused for their growth, and definitely we would like to work together with all the members. We are thankful to all the members. The 200 faculty members and institutions all over Maharashtra have shown belief in IES forum, and we will definitely try to make sure that whatever are their desires will be fulfilled by the IES forum. Thank you very much, Abhyankar sir. I know your time is extremely precious. You are always hard pressed for time, and still you could spare about almost 2 hours for us. Thank you very much, sir.
Now I would hand over the station. Thank you, Principal Sir. I would hand over the station to Professor Garima Guzar ma'am for vote of thanks.
Hello, everyone. Actually, it gives me immense pleasure and privilege to thank especially Dr. Aditya Abhyankar, sir, for sparing the time for us and sharing his views on such an important topic from not working to networking, based on especially on his rich experiences and insights. I hope, sir, that our future development trajectory, especially from our student point of view, will reflect the vision expressed by you during your session. I would also like to thank Sailesh Goswami sir and Sanjay sir of IES Forum in collaborating with ISL Atharva College of Engineering in conducting this event. We are grateful to our Executive President, Honorable Shri Sunil Rane sir, for providing us the guidance and putting our steps towards research, technology, and innovation. I would also like to extend my sincere thanks to Dr. Nimani sir, Director, Atharva College of Engineering, and our very principal, Dr. Kalurkar sir, for being our constant advisors in sculpting such events. Lastly, I hope all of you must have learned something from this session and are going to make most out of it by especially the learnings given by Dr. Aditya Abhyankar. Thank you very much, sir. I'm really, really grateful to you. Thank you so much.
I request participants to please switch on your camera so that we can have snapshot quickly. Aditya sir, Jagtap sir, if you all participants can switch on your camera, so it will be very nice for us to see you on screen and take a screenshot.
Ma'am, can you see me?
Yes,
Sanjay sir, nice to be with
Okay.
you. Aditya sir, thank you for very nice session.
Thank you, madam.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you, Aditya sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you
God
very
bless.
much. Thank you, IES
Thank you,
Forum,
sir.
Jagtap sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
All students and faculty kindly join tomorrow's session by Mr. Harish Mehta, guiding on the leadership and entrepreneurship. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Same
Thank you,
link.
sir.
It will be same link. Link will be shared or same link?
Link will be shared with you. Link will be shared.
Okay, okay.
All will share on mail.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, Dipali madam, Samuel sir, and the staff, faculty support from the Atharva College of Engineering, and from the management. I also thank to the management that supported us to host the IES Forum webinar series sessions. Thank you all.
Thanks, sir. Thanks, sir. Bhavin sir is with us me today for technical collaboration. So big thanks to Bhavin
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Pankaj Kunekar sir joined.
No, he's having exam. He's having exam.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Nandini madam Desai. Nandini Desai madam. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjay sir.
Garima madam. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I will connect with you regarding the startups